Well, here, for all the divisions over Brexit, MPs from 7 parties have joined forces to form a group to tackle issues which they say have been ignored because of Brexit. The More United network includes the former Conservative Cabinet Minister Nicky Morgan and Labour's David Lammy, as well as the Liberal Democrat MP for Edinburgh West, Christine Jardine, who joins me now. Welcome to you. More United, people are always saying, why can't politicians work together to sort out problems? What are you actually going to do?
Well, that's precisely what we're going to do. We're going to work together. I've already, as you may know, I've been working with Tulip Sadiq and Nicky Morgan on an immigration policy, which we spoke to Sajid Javid about a couple of weeks ago. So we already are working together. We already have some progress. And now we have this network of 50 MPs who are going to be working across party lines to try and make the sort of progress that we know the public want. What the public want is to see politicians working together rather than constant bickering.
I mean, in practical terms, how is this going to feed into the policy-making process where, you know, the structure is basically the government proposes and the opposition opposes and amends?
Well, what it will be is a network, as I say, of 50. There's 50 of us at the moment across the party, 7 parties involved. And the aim is to influence that policy. Now, obviously, the best way of influencing that policy is to work with the members of the government who, you know, perhaps after the next general election, maybe before that, may even be members of More United. There's nothing to stop that. And to work on those things which we agree on, because each of the parties is a broad church. And there are things which we disagree on in the parties, but agree with people, you know, different parts of the benches. So we should be doing more to build on that and find a consensus. You know, research shows us that only something like 34% of the British public actually want another party, but 3/4 of them want to see the parties working more together. So that's what our aim is.
We're sick of urgent issues being ignored in favour of Brexit. What are you doing about this, Layla?
Yeah, so this is More United have now got, and they're launching today, a big network of MPs. There's about 50 of us, so myself and Emma Reynolds are 2 of them, and we've written this article in the Times today where we're talking about the things that are not Brexit that we really care about. So I've been working for a long time, a couple of years, on getting rid of this Dickensian Vagrancy Act. It's a very, very old act that essentially criminalises rough sleeping and actually is used in all sorts of other ways. Cross-party, there is momentum behind this. All the homelessness charities are now on board. We're having meetings with ministers. But in our most recent meeting with the minister, they said there's no legislation that we can do this with. And, you know, it's just so frustrating. So we've written this article to say we want to work together, and More United are a network, slightly loose, but a network that we can use to do that.
We should be working together, and that's what this aims to do. It's not a party, it's not aiming to set up something new, it's aiming to bring the existing parties together on important issues.
Do you think you're shouting into the wind, really, at a time when everyone talks about increased divisions, increased polarisation in our society?
That's exactly why it's important, because all we have talked about for the last 3 years is division. Things that divide us in Scotland, all we've talked about for 8 years are the things that divide us over independence. Now we've talked about the things that divide us over Brexit. It's time we started looking at the things which actually unite us and actually agree on and making progress. And funnily enough, although we've had all that division in Scotland, because we've got a minority government.
The SNP are part of this group, or members
yes,
of the SNP?
Yes, I was talking to Lisa Cameron, who's one of their MPs. She was there yesterday. We've got, because of the system there with proportional representation, which I think going ahead is going to be absolutely crucial to having a more consensual system. The parties have to come to a consensus about the budget. You know, at least 2 or 3 of them have to agree. So you cannot have the old system of, you know, one party against another, and, you know, everything that party says is, you know, becomes law, and the other one opposes everything they do. We need more consensus. We need more working together for a more progressive way of approaching politics.
Christine Jardine, thank you very much indeed
You're welcome.
for